Things are getting spicy here in Singapore with George Russell on pole position for Mercedes ahead of Max Verstappen on a front row, that is, as Verstappen has outqualified both McLaren drivers and continuing that form that sees Red Bull able to fight with the McLarens and maybe give Verstappen a chance in the Drivers' Championship. Oscar Piastri will go from third place with Lando Norris down in fifth, and Norris was actually suffering the wrath of Verstappen because Verstappen was unhappy that Norris was maybe slightly impeding him towards the end of his Q3 lap as Norris returned to the pits. Verstappen very unhappy about that and complaining about it afterwards. Norris shrugging that off, saying Red Bull always complain, and that's where it was getting a bit spicy. A little bit of needle between the two and between the two teams perhaps. Andrea Stella explaining from McLaren that actually this track doesn't seem to suit the McLaren. It seems to have a bit of a weakness over bumps and curbs. Where we heard that before, Red Bull, as they lost their grip on their dominance in the past. But here is a bumpy circuit. You do need to be able to ride the curbs well. McLaren feel like that doesn't quite suit their car, and they struggled with that in Baku, where they were beaten comfortably, including by Verstappen, and in Canada, where they were beaten comfortably, including by George Russell, who won that race from Verstappen. So we're seeing trends in that sense. It's a big opportunity now for Verstappen. Going from second, he wants to win, he wants maximum points. Russell knows that, knows he'll be punchy at the start. That's normally fireworks between these two. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that, because in many ways, Verstappen has nothing to lose. Go and get the points, go and try and win every race, try and put the pressure on McLaren. But starting ahead of them already and fighting someone who's not a McLaren into turn one, well, George Russell has nothing to lose either. Looking for his second win of the season, not a factor in the championship battle right now, still awaiting a contract from Mercedes as well. So there's a really cool dynamic on the front row. As I mentioned, it'll be Piastri from third. He will then maybe be taking a bit more of a watching brief in that sense, trying to see if he can pick up the pieces of anything that happens between the top two. But it's going to be pretty feisty out there. We also had a disqualification today, two in fact. Both Williams cars failed DRS tests where their rear wing slot was too big. When they went through scrutineering after qualifying. They had qualified 12th and 13th with Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz respectively. They've been booted out of qualifying and they'll start from the back of the grid. They'll hope to fight through though, because it could be a two-stop race with a higher speed limit here in the pit lane. That increases the chances of being able to make a two-stop work rather than a one-stop. That's another bit of jeopardy that maybe Verstappen will think is a good chance for him, but maybe McLaren can take advantage of as well. It's all to play for though, with the two Ferraris in 6th and 7th as well. Seems very close. We don't have any long run data after Friday being interrupted in FP2. So it's going to be a fascinating race, and it could be really, really pivotal in the title fight.